We are back, and let's talk about some positives from NXT Deadline. Number one that I immediately just loved was the location.
It was a good location.
It was in the Armory, the Minneapolis Armory. It looked really cool. I loved how it was throughout the whole dome of the Armory. It felt very throwback when old time shows were in armories.
Right.
I kind of wish they had the entrance a little bit smaller than they did to really kind of give it that old school flair. But I just thought presentationally, it looked really cool.
Yeah.
I almost want to see NXT do an entire thing in different armories.
Depends on how many there are left, but yeah, that would be kind of cool.
The men's match was awesome, and Obafemi just had the aura of an absolute killer.
He wasn't a human.
No, he was aura as a person. He destroyed. But here's the thing. He didn't dominate everybody.
No, he did not.
Everybody just looked so great in this match. They got all of their shit in. It just was.
It was a great place for Oba to come back and to really kind of set the stage for 2025.
Exactly, because he's going to win that title.
Yeah.
I mean, if he doesn't beat Trick, I don't know what they're doing.
Whoop, that Trick.
No quarter catch. It's Whoop. No quarter.
I said Whoop.
Oh, no quarter catch crew was unbelievable.
Yeah, they kind of surprised me. I'm surprised that that Axiom retained their champion.
I will talk about that because that is my negative. But I did say that this was their coming out match, for both Tavion Heights and Miles
It's
Bourne.
Tavion Heights.
Is it? I thought it was Tavion.
I don't know.
I'm 99.9% sure now. Now you're starting to make me question.
You know what? It's whatever. It doesn't matter.
He was awesome. Miles Bourne was awesome. But I mean, Axiom and Nathan Frazer are fantastic.
Nathan Frazer did a really good job with selling the injuries. I think Axiom is also dealing with some.
Really?
I didn't know. I don't think so, but
I wasn't aware of that one.
Oh,
but I do know that no quarter catch crew really just impressed me.
Yeah, they did. They impressed me too. I was worried about the tag division after Chase U breaking up, but now I'm no longer worried about it.
Exactly. So Ren Sinclair, once again, Ren Sinclair was my shining star in this match. She was awesome. I mean, everybody in this match did great, but everybody knew how good all of them were.
Yep.
Ren was sort of the odd duck.
Yeah, she was.
And she really put in the work to, I mean, she was comedy. People were ecstatic when she got that pin.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, they actually might get Ren Sinclair over in this match with just these powerhouse personalities. And just keep in mind, look at the other personalities here, and then it's
you have 3 international superstars that recently signed.
Sol Ruka,
and then you have Sol Ruka, who is WWE homegrown talent, who is also a megastar in her own making.
Right, just because of her finisher. It's insanity of that finisher. But Ren was that, once again, the odd duck where it's oh God, she's just not going to be there, but she was awesome.
Yeah.
And people lost their minds when she got that pin because they're like, underdog, please, underdog.
Right.
They got her over.
Yeah, they did.
Fantastic. So, with the positives, we do have to talk about some negatives.
Yay.
Now, with the negatives, the first one, why did Axiom and Nathan Frazer win this match?
I don't know, because they're clearly on a collision course towards betraying.
Exactly.
They are clearly on a collision course towards a rivalry. And so it's interesting as to why. Now, maybe New Year's Evil will prove to be a little bit different, but we don't have the whole situation on that title picture yet.
Right.
But, it was just an interesting choice.
It was an interesting choice, and that's sort of why I put it as a negative, because it's what do these two need to do with these titles at this point? I mean, this does help the tag team champions because you're going to get a banger of a tag match with the NXT Tag Team Champions, but did they not trust No Quarter to do something with them?
Right.
Because they did great in this match once again. But yeah, that's sort of where it is. Also, I think between the two premier matches that had No Quarter Catch crew members, because Ren Sinclair is a member, they should have at least won one of them.
Yeah, they should have.
Oh,
this match just kind of flew under the radar for me. I really didn't see anything memorable come from it. It was just there.
Ridge Holland should have won.
Yes,
I think he should have won.
Ridge Holland should have won.
And I'm gonna lay out my argument. I know people are not fan of Ridge Holland, but that's why he should have won.
Yes.
He had this huge amount of momentum.
Yep.
He won the ambulance match against Andre Chase.
Yep.
He beat Andre Chase in that contenders match.
He's
won every single match. He really brought up here. Trick Williams was carried out on a stretcher last week. So why? I guess because they want Oba to beat him, but just momentum wise, I think we should have at least had at least a month or two of a Ridge Holland title run. Trick can win it back, and then Oba can go.
Right.
Something. It was a rock and a hard place.
It was a rock and a hard place here. I think that they're waiting to start this rivalry between. They're waiting for Ridge Holland for Obafemi. I think Ridge Holland is going to be Obafemi's first real challenge.
Okay.
And I think that might be a longer term storyline, but I just don't know. I don't know the entire situation, but yeah, I agree. I think that Ridge Holland should have won this match.
That's why I put it as a negative. And you're right. The match was fine. I mean,
it was a fine match. It was just there. It wasn't like.
I will say between all of the matches, this one actually was my weakest match, and I'm going to assume that you think this match was the weakest match.
I'm tending to believe that yes, this was the weaker match. I had a stronger story, but the match itself, I don't know, felt a little stiff. Again, now different.
I was going to say something different, but I had the same impression. This match felt too staged.
Yes, it was a stiff match. They played it safe. They really, but you have to understand too. An underground match is not the wrestling ring looks different. It's fundamentally not a wrestling ring because there's no ropes. And a lot of wrestling requires the use of ropes. That is just the nature of professional wrestling.
Yeah, but
you have to kind of throw that out the window during an underground match, which fundamentally changes how you conduct yourself.
And here's sort of why I think this match felt staged. It felt stiff. Whichever way you want to say it, it's because one of them is not that MMA fighter. Mm-hmm. Remember, last time we had an NXT Underground match, remember who was in it?
They were both MMA fighters.
Lola Vice and Shayna Baszler. Mm-hmm. So they gave the impression of this is a fight.
Yeah.
Because they were fighters. I wanted to see, we had that hardcore match with these two when they were at 2300 and it was really, really good.
Right.
I wanted to see more street from Jaida Parker. That's her whole gimmick is she's that street fighter.
I just don't think that, I don't know. It was, again, stiff.
It was too, you also said another really good S word. Safe.
Yeah.
It felt too safe. It felt too stiff. It felt too staged.
Yeah.
I wanted messy.
I did.
Give me a little more of a messier context where it looks like they're trying to beat each other up instead of one spot to another spot to another spot.
Right.
That's sort of why I kind of put this as negative. They worked hard,
and this was my weakest match.
And I will say they had the better story.
Yeah, they did a little bit. Not a ton better, but it was a little bit.
But
better.
You see, once again, I've been watching the story. I saw where they were beating each other up. People had to separate them. If they were going to do this with the underground stipulation, honestly, I think them doing it in the parking lot, false count anywhere, something else,
something like that
would have given this a much better impression.
I think so too.
Maybe something where they're in the parking lot and they're illuminated by nothing but car lights or something.
Right.
I wanted gritty.
Yeah.
And this just felt too sanitized. A lot of S words.
Yeah.
But
a lot of S words.
But all of them really do fit this.
Right.
Nothing against them. I just think of how it was.
There's one thing it wasn't shitty.
Right.
To put another S
No,
word.
it wasn't bad.
Right. It wasn't that bad. It's just you have to have a weak match. You have to have the weakest match of the night.
There was an expectation.
There was.
And the expectation did not meet the story leading up to it.
Right.
And that
makes sense.
And that was where I am. But that was it. Overall, Deadline was good. I really liked it. I'm going to give it a full thumbs up.
Yep.
Nothing really blew my mind.
Right.
We knew Oba was returning.
Right.
I kind of expected a lot of these winners. Nothing really that really did it, but if you have a couple of hours to kill, it was a lot of fun.
It was.
So, when we come back, we have a very special match that's near and dear to both Peanut Gallery and Ice Hearts.
Yeah.